Hey everyone, it's Lennon. I'm super excited, but also filled with trepidation, okay? Currently, I guess you could say that me and Marlena Teresa have been buddy reading this a little bit. We've been reading it at the same time. And as we both have the very new, very beautiful Quintessential Thoth, we decided to take it into practice quite literally and do a reading from this book with this deck. Now, as this is an abstract deck, the Quintessential Thoth is an abstract full of fractal images and mathematics, but it's like an essential abstract Thoth deck, and it's beautiful, and I'm super, super proud of it. But for its abstract nature, we're able to go into the abstraction easier, I guess you could say. The spiritual realm, this place full of the unknowns, is so easy to tap into for me when we're looking through abstract images. I think that that's where I find my soul the most, is when I'm staring at abstract images, especially if I'm looking at abstract paintings and what have you. So we decided there is a reading in the book, okay? And if you look, and Marlena Teresa is putting her video out with this reading today as well. So I will leave her channel link below. So go and check out her video where she does the same exact reading. We're kind of doing a buddy reading with this, a buddy tarot reading with this. So go check out Marlena Teresa's channel for her version of this reading. So let's get into it. So again, the book is A Walk Through the Forest of Souls by Rachel Pollack. It's a fairly new publication, and it's been fascinating. She's got some incredible insights in here as to tarot origins and how the tarot has evolved over the years, and how we can look at that and kind of interpret, not interpret like in terms of meaning, but interpret tarot itself as having a soul and having its own kind of entity. It's the book of life. And I guess this book really cements that in a spiritual context as well. And the readings in here are profound. So the reading that me and Marlena decided to do was what they call the soul reading. Okay, now if you have the physical copy, that's on page 50. And forget, I've already highlighted and underlined and wrote the hell in this book, okay? And it's just been so good. So the soul reading is in the chapter, if you have the ebook, the chapter, The Instrument of Our Wisdom, but it's on page 50 if you have the physical copy. It's a four card reading with the questions. Now, I like how Rachel Pollack does this. She actually pulls the cards and gives you some insights into what her interpretations are with what cards have come up for the readings. She doesn't just give you a card reading. She gives an example. And so I like that. You really can get into what she wanted to know, and through her interpretation of the reading itself, you kind of get to know what the actual questions mean. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to be using the Quintessential Thoth and trying to get down to the nitty-gritty of what is the soul and what my soul's takeaway is from this. So, maybe I'm stalling a little bit. Maybe I don't want to know. Maybe my ego thinks it knows, and it's about to get slapped in the face. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. So, all right, I'm going to put this off to the side because we'll just put it I'm putting it over to the side just a little bit so that I can see what the questions and positions are, but you will no longer see the book. All right, so I've successfully put the book off to the side, and we're just going to shuffle, and we're going to pull the cards. Now, to go over the positions, maybe I'll write them on the screen here for you. So since we don't have the book to look at, let's see. The first one is, what is the soul? That's the first question. The second is, how do we make soul? Wow, what a question. Third, what does it demand of us? What does the soul demand of us? And lastly, fourth, what does it give us? This is a very intense reading. For it to be only 4 cards. And I kind of talked to Marlena about this too, and she was like, this was sounds pretty intense, right? When we first started talking about it. And I was like, you're the queen of spreads. She's the queen of spreads. I swear, I love her spreads. They are so creative. I always get a lot of juice out of her spreads. And so it kind of... It really cemented the fact that this was going to be intense when she thought it was going to be intense. So, I mean, the whole point, and it's a tarot plus spiritual book, right? The Walk Through the Forest of Souls. And for it to be a walk through the forest of souls, we must walk in the forest. But then we have to be able to recognize that we're in the forest of souls. Therefore, we have to know what a soul is. And I like to ask the tarot open-ended questions like this. Study the tarot and ask the tarot these unanswerable questions. I think that that's a powerful practice that I have with my tarot, is that I like to ask it the unanswerable questions. To get answers and then ruminate on what the cards tell me doesn't necessarily mean that that's the definitive answer. Because I believe that answers to the unanswerable change. They will evolve, much like this reading will. Whatever I get today will probably be completely different ruminations if I were to do it tomorrow. So, let's get on with this. Is it weird that I'm kind of nervous? I don't know. What is the soul? What is it? It's a what question, which is a weird tarot question. What is the soul? All right. What is the soul? Oh, we got the Queen of Cups. Oh, okay. I'm loving that we got the Mandelbrot set here, okay? Which is a fractal, but the Mandelbrot set is full of complex numbers, imaginary numbers. Imaginary numbers are just what they are. They're imaginary. They're numbers that don't exist, yet we can plot them on a number line. And when we plot them mathematically on a number line, we come up with these like infinite plottings that form these infinite pictures, because imaginary numbers or complex numbers, complex equations are colored black, right? Each thing has a color. And that's what makes the Mandelbrot set. And so when we get this for the soul, what is the soul? It reminds me that it's infinite. It reminds me that it's imaginative. It reminds me that it's a vessel, right? But it's an imaginary vessel. It's an infinite vessel with vastness, right? To the point where we can't fathom it. It's like a black hole. When we fill the black hole, things seemingly disappear inside. But how do we know that the black hole isn't just a vessel? Holding those things like a coin purse. And it doesn't mean that the things that disappear into the accretion disk didn't exist, will never exist again, are not reborn as something else. That's what this reminds me of. The hierarchy here too, the Queen of Cups, reminds me of that that the soul could be a feeling. That the soul could be vast, infinite, imaginative feelings. The soul is a feeling, but it's also a vessel. But it's also so vast and abysmal, with it being the water suit, that it's unfathomable. I love that. It's almost like the soul is the whole, or is a whole, and the bottom of a water barrel. And it's holding vast, infinite things that we can't fathom. Wow. Okay. What is the soul? Jesus. Queen of Cups. All right, the next question is, how do we make soul? Not how do we make the soul. How do we make soul? I find these questions fascinating, but also open-ended enough that they can be interpretable. I like the abstraction of this deck for its ability to expand the interpretable into these archetypal realms. Yeah, I find that fascinating. Okay. How do we soul? Wow. We have discs. The boons of the universe. How do we make soul? With wealth. That's what the key word is for a 10 of discs. Wealth. I love that we're getting 2 fractals here. This is absolutely astronomical, okay? Wealth. How do we make soul? We fill the vessel. We keep filling the barrel. We keep feeling, keep experiencing. And the vessel is holding everything and nothing all at the same time because of this hole that it is at the bottom of the barrel. It's holding all of the wealth while simultaneously losing it all. But we must keep doing it. I love too that it says, how can we make soul? We as humans, right? We have to make soul in the tangible because we're not intangible. So I like how we got a disc here. I like it's really calling us to know, or calling to us to see that if we want to make the soul, if we want to have a soul, we do have a soul, but it's imaginative, right? It's infinite and vast. We have to fill the vessel with what we can tangibly do here as humans, because we have no other choice. We are humans. We are limited. But in the greatest way possible. In the greatest way possible. We are blossoming out and evolving and changing, just like these fractals, full of complex numbers, but yet limited to the laws of nature, limited to the laws of the tangible. But it's through these laws of nature and the experiences and feelings and sensations therein, we will be filling the cup, the vessel, the barrel, with a wealth of all of it. That's how we make the soul. It's an infinite vessel that we must fill. Ooh. Okay, all right. Oh, this is so good, you guys. Oh. So good. Okay. I have to adjust myself. All right. There. Okay. Next question. What does it demand of us? Huh. Okay, so the vessel, we're filling it with the vessel, yada, 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 yada. Wealth of information. Okay. And more, I guess you could say. But then what does the soul demand of us? Does it demand anything of us? Would it demand anything of us? Sorry, a little slippage there. Does it demand anything of us? Would it demand anything of us? What? I like how she uses the word what a lot. I don't use the word what when I'm coming up with tarot questions. But, you know, something to explore, I guess. What does it demand of us? Ooh, oh my gosh. Oh, God. Okay, first of all, we got another disc. Because we're tangible beings, we work in this, or on the earthly realm, okay? What does it demand of us? Okay, first of all, it's funny that the key word for the 5 of discs is worry. Oh, that's so funny. Now, the funny part about this, about it being worry, is not so, excuse me, is not so much that the 5 of discs or the soul demands worry of us. This is just Mercury and Taurus, which just Mercury being about like communication, right? And Taurus being, to me, largely, Taurus is about comfort, all right? They want to be comfortable. It wants to be comfortable. And when you have this, like, it's a comfort zone. It's a worry through inaction. So you're not acting. So this actually cements to me that the soul's not demanding anything of you, but you demand things of the soul, which causes this strife. Okay, not to confuse with other 5s in the tarot. Okay, of the Thoth, but it causes this inaction, this inactionable sequence. Right? So while the soul doesn't demand from us, we demand from the soul, even on levels we don't comprehend. So it puts us in a state of always wanting to demand of the soul, but the soul's sitting there just getting full and letting it go, getting full and letting it go, and just and being bulbous for a vessel, but then it's like a stomach, right? This is like a stomach. We're filling it with wealth, right? But it's within us filling it with wealth that we're like, okay, but we're giving it something. It needs to give us something back, right? But that's not the purpose of the soul. It's not to be full and then somehow give back to us. But within this, we worry after it, right? It's like the whole concept of letting your children go, to me, right? Like they have to be pushed from the nest to learn how to fly. And humans they are really bad at this, okay? Letting their children go and do their own thing, okay? In various times. But I really, really like that this came up because it just tells me that it doesn't demand a thing from me, but I worry. And I am in a state of inactive communication with the soul. And it's within my demand of the soul that the soul is not communicating with me because I'm demanding something of it. Ooh, you guys, this is intense, okay? We got one more rogue cards here from the wind. Okay. I'll do it over here. One more card. One more question that we must ask. Okay. What does it give us? I'm a little worried about what card's going to come up. But that's me not wanting to just let the soul be. Okay. That's this. I don't know. That's just me like putting demands on the soul is what causes me to fear the next card. What does it give us? Does the soul give us anything? What does the soul give us? Now, it's funny because I just said that the soul doesn't demand anything of us. We demand it of it. So the next question is, what does it give us? Is going to be interesting because I just said we want it to give us something. We're demanding something of it. Gosh, oh my gosh, what could possibly come up for this? I think I'm ready. Oh, this is my favorite card in the deck, okay? At least one of, but holy crap. Another disc, you guys. Oh, okay. I'm tearing up, really, okay? First of all, this is power. This is power. This is power, okay? This is elemental power. This is the elements stabilized. That's what the soul gives us. Stabilization. If we can let it be the soul without demanding something of it, it will give us complete stabilization. Elemental stabilization. Matter. Physical matter stabilization. Ooh. And y'all know, okay, because y'all, this is real time here. I shuffled the hell out of this deck and happened to get 3 damn discs. All right. But it's been so profound. I cannot believe we got the 4 disc. I just cannot believe that. Because through this whole thing, I was thinking, how profound would it be to get a major arcana, you know, or all courts, or, you know, like I was demanding something of this reading before it even started. Like what would make it the most profound? And it turned out to be greater than I expected. The beauty here, for me, in the 4, to end, what does it give us? Along with stabilization, I believe that this is also manifestation, a form of manifestation, but also tangible manifestation. Because what does it give us? It gives us the power of manifestation to do this. To do this. That's going to lead us here. And this, the soul, getting full. We're making it with our wealth. How do we get wealth? We have to manifest it. Right? But we have to have this worry to keep coming back to the past and look on new ways of manifesting the wealth. So it's like an infinite loop. That's the whole point. It's an infinite loop. Okay. This was intense. Okay? I did not expect this to go to these places, but I am loving where it went. Okay. That was intense. I loved it. Pretty sure you can find A Walk Through the Forest of Souls anywhere books are sold, if you're interested. Okay? And also, Marlena and I came up with the hashtag hashtag thesoulreading, I believe. I'll leave it on the screen for you at the bottom here. If you would like to join in and make a VR, like with your own video doing this reading, it's really cool. It's really fascinating. I don't know why people aren't asking the tarot this, okay? Okay, now to end the video, I've got a little, I got some news, some good news, okay? You asked, I delivered, all right? As of this moment, this is now the Quintessential Thoth Tarot First Edition. And thank you to anyone that has purchased it so far. I love you. You have no idea how much I appreciate your kindness with purchasing my decks. I'm always grateful when I get a notification of that. However, I love this deck, but I have officially made a second edition. Let me explain the second edition. I will put some cards on the screen for you to let you know like what I've done. But in the new edition, they will have a white, like what looks like a brush stroke at the bottom with the suit name and the Roman numeral on the same swatch. They won't have the numbers at the top. It'll just be on the bottom in Roman numerals and suit names, and then the major titles on the majors on the swatch in black. Okay, the words will be in black. Now that's the second edition. If you would like the Thoth keywords on the cards as well, I have a second, I guess, prototype of the second edition where there'll be still be the same white swash as you can see in the pictures, with the like Roman numerals and suit words and all that. But then right above the swatch will be the keyword, the Thoth keyword in white. So again, there will be pictures for you to ruminate. Pay attention to the listings on my Make Playing card page, because this will stay the Quintessential Thoth Tarot, and then you'll see Quintessential Thoth Second Edition, and then you'll see Quintessential Thoth Second Edition keywords, keyword being capitalized, so, or all in all caps, so that you can differentiate between all three of the listings. I hope that because I'm so proud of the art and all the time that went into picking out the art, like manipulating the color in some of the images that I picked out like this to match the originals or the original Thoth cards. It was such a labor of love, and I'm so proud of this deck. So I wanted to do as many editions as I could that would appeal to anyone that would be interested in having this abstract Thoth. So that's some really cool news to end the video with. I hope you enjoy this deck for whoever gets it. I hope that it is as profound of a work tool, tarot tool, that you will have. And I hope that you're all doing super, super well. Please don't forget to go check Marlena's video. I cannot wait to see it and see what the soul means in her cards using this deck. So go check that out. All right. Much love, everybody.